Oh, y'all, look at my babies. Okay, my daughter getting her. No, let me not cuss. My daughter getting her stuff together, y'all. Y'all see her over there with her baby doing her homework. She ain't asked me to get them yet. I'm still waiting on that. When you gonna ask me to get them? Oh, okay. I'm trying to see because you've been doing good. Period. I'm so proud of her, y'all. My little babies. Look at him snoring. Wait, this is so cute. Like, for real, though. Let me get that bottle. Go ahead. She need to hurry up and get my grandson. He's snoring, yo. He's not, too. Aww. I'm gonna show the camera first, but I don't want to see it. Is it there? No! No!
What is it? It's a prank. Promise. Swear on my life. Swear to God. On Caden's life.
When?
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm serious.
You're lying. On my life.
On your life, on my life, on everybody's life. I'm Babu.
Holy fuck shit. Did you give me... Oh, shit. Holy
Your
shit.
grandma.
Don't even. Let's talk about this a little bit later. I need to process it.
Love you.
Process this. Making your lunch right now. No, there's more of the lunch. I was making it. So let's talk about that.
I go in the bathroom and I look in the garbage can in your garbage can and I don't see blood on the pads. You've been wrapping them up, but you ain't having no menstrual. So I'm trying to figure out why you been lying and telling me your period been on and it ain't been on. So how long has been that you ain't seen no period? 1 month? You sure? So I got something for you. You're gonna take this pregnancy test. Because I promise you, if you're pregnant, it's over. You getting the fuck up out of here. So go on in the bathroom and get that pregnancy test over with. Go right on in there and take that pregnancy test. Because if you're pregnant, you get out of my house. You're 12 years old. You ran away about a month and a half ago, and that situation took place with them boys. I ain't no fool. I already know. And don't run no water. Don't run no water. I want you to pee on that thing. Don't run no water. Cut that water off. You better not put no water on it. Pee on it. I'll come in there. Now hurry up and use that bathroom. You better pee on it. I'ma know if it'll show if there's been water on it. Because it'll mess it up. And it won't show no lines at all. So you better pee on it. And I'm waiting out here for you. Hurry the fuck up and pee. Not playing with you. Yeah. You peed on it? And them lines changing already? Let me see. I know damn well. Ran in. So what that say? What that reading? They got 2 lines. So you pregnant? Hold on, give me this, let me hold this. So you meant to tell me when them boys did that to you, did them boys use protection? You don't remember, but you let that. Your ass gotta go. You get the fuck up out of my house. You get up out of my house. Get your shit, pack it. You're going to stay with your daddy. This shit is not right, y'all. 12 years old. Pregnant.
All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin, let me start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. All right, today is October the 13th, year 2025, the hope year of our deliverance. All right, the hour being the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the seed of our fathers. All right, as well as the hopeful year in judgment and destruction to the so-called self-proclaimed white nation, which they're not white, they're red, and according to the Bible, they're the Hebrew Edomites, the wicked the Bible speaks of. All right, but this lesson in particular is going to be dealing with, you know what I just showed you in a couple of clips, all right, you know how the young woman, all right, becomes of age at the age of 12, all right. Now, in no way am I telling anybody, especially an adult, all right, or, you know, in this society, you can't be but a couple of years older than the person you're dealing with. Anyway, I ain't telling nobody to deal with no fucking 12-year-old, you know what I'm saying? We don't do no shit like that. You know, but in the ancient world, in ancient times, you know, the age of 12 is the age of accountability, and that's the age in which, you know what I'm saying, most women come into their womanhood, and that's the age in which, you know what I'm saying, the man was to find the woman a husband, all right, meaning his daughter, you know what I'm saying, because the man is over the woman. So whether it was your daughter, all right, or whatever woman you were over, all right, and in that stead, you know, once they hit that age of 12, all right, you know, that's when you start looking for them a husband, ultimately. All right, and that's how it's gonna be during our kingdom. You know, when Yahweh comes and establishes righteousness on this earth, all right, and he has his elect in the right stead, and you know, had this earth ruled and governed off the law, statutes, and commandments according to the Bible. All right, you know, the men of the Lord are gonna have women, and they're gonna come at you know what I'm saying, that young tender age. All right, when you understand what went down with Joseph and Mary, you know that Joseph was significantly older than Mary, and Mary was a pretty young woman. All right, you know, she had to be in between probably, you know, I speak as a man, probably between 12 and 14, you know. And still today, at today's time, you see these young girls out here, they 12, these young women, all right, they're getting pregnant ultimately, all right, and that's because there's no new thing under the sun, all right. It's just Esau is ruling right now. The earth is under a wicked vibration, all right. These niggas is wicked, all right. These heathens are wicked, you know. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna read a couple of scriptures dealing with it, you know what I'm saying. Lord gonna be edifying. First one I'm gonna read is right here in Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, starting at verse 9. It say, "The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep." All right, because if you got daughters, all right, once they get to that, you know what I'm saying, that age, and, you know, you've been a young man before, you know how it is when these young women get to coming into their, you know, their womanhood and shit, that box get hot, okay, and they looking for somebody to strike that match, you know what I mean? And it takes away sleep from you. You know, again, I've said it many times, you know, I got teenage daughters, younger daughters, you know, I got them all, you know what I'm saying, from 15 on down to about 8. So I get it. You know, it took me a while, but I definitely get it now, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's saying the care for her taking away sleep when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. All right, you know. Verse 10, it say, in her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. All right, before she was married, she played the whore. All right, now in this society, you know, we're under that Jeremiah 31 and 22 vibration. The Lord that created a new thing in the earth, the woman shall compass man. So the women are given the parental rights for the most part. You know, they call it custodial rights, you know, to these parents, to these children. All right, whether they're your sons or your daughters. All right, the women are ruling. That's in the curses as well. What does you say? What do my people say? Women rule over them. You know what I'm saying? Oppressors and women rule over us. All right, Esau rules over us, and the women of the tribes rule over us. All right, and Esau established the woman over us, so that's a lot of reason why you see, you know, society amongst Israel destroyed the way it is, especially our offspring. You know what I'm saying? The young boys, the young girls, they're all destroyed. And that's because a woman is at the head of the household and it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be a man at the head of the household, all right? But again, you know, in this society, we're under curses. So we got to bear that, all right? So in her virginity, unless she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. These young women are getting pregnant in their mother's house, all right? Because not to say it couldn't happen in the father's house, but it's less likely, all right? Because a man is an authoritative figure, all right? You know what I'm saying? Daughters reverence their fathers on a higher level than they reverence their mothers, all right? And that's in the scriptures as well. Honor thy father and mother all the days of thy life. And if, you know, you've been in your children's life from the jump, especially as a man, they're going to reverence you over the mother. All right, they're going to fear you over the mother, so they're not going to go astray under your rule the way they go astray under the mother's rule, all right? Because there's no fear of the mother, all right? I showed you one clip. I showed you three. All right, and one, it was the, I think they were Northern Kingdom. All right, the mother looked like she was a Northern Kingdom Israelite. All right, but, you know what I'm saying? The chick was 16, came in, let her mom know she showed her the pregnancy test. All right, it wasn't no, it wasn't no, the mother wasn't feeling no type of way about it. She was, if you ask me, I mean, what could she do at the end of the day? It didn't happen now, but, you know, it was no parameters in that house. All right, and that's why your daughters are able to, you know, be at the head of these streets and these whole packs and running behind these niggas and getting pregnant. All right, you seen the one mother, all right, she told her daughter, you're going to live with your father. Why you want to send her to live with her father now? All right, now that she done got pregnant, you know, she done been defiled, all right, she done, from the sounds of it, all right, she done let multiple niggas hit it. All right, she probably don't even know who her baby daddy is right now. All right, she's 12 years old. That probably was her first sexual encounter, and she done gave that thing up to multiple boys, young men. Now she pregnant, and, you know, she gonna be in a Maury situation, you know what I'm saying? Gonna be having, you know what I'm saying, 2, 3, 4 baby daddies, you know, not baby daddies, but fraternity tests. You know what I'm saying? This is wickedness, bro. This is absolute madness. All right. It's a lest she should misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be barren. All right, because these things, you know, as a man, you don't want your daughter to do. You don't want your daughter to play the whore, for one. All right, because it devalues her, and it puts a stain on your name and your reputation. All right, you know. You don't want her to marry off. You don't want to marry her off to somebody, and then she becomes an absolute demon. All right, to her husband. All right, that makes you look bad. All right, she's going to a new man that's gonna be her new leader. That's her new daddy. All right, she's leaving one father to go to another. All right, and you don't want her misbehaving because again, that looks bad on you. All right, because you know, in ancient times, you know, men paid other men prices for their daughters. All right, so you don't want to make a transaction, and then you know what I'm saying, you get the property, and it's an absolute demon or a witch. You know, or a bitch, whatever. You know what I mean? Then it say, unless she should be barren, meaning she's unfruitful. All right, unable to bring forth children. All right, which in this case, these young women, all right, they clearly able to bring forth children. All right, read verse 11. It say, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies. So you're supposed to keep your foot on your daughter's neck. All right, she's not even supposed to really. In a righteous kingdom, she ain't even supposed to be out unchaperoned, all right? She ain't supposed to be out just willy-nilly walking around, all right? We know the story that went down with, you know what I'm saying, the Israelites' sister's Daya, you know what I'm saying, how she got snatched up by the Hamite, all right, and got raped, all right, you know what I'm saying? That's why you women ain't supposed to be, all right, just out here without covering of a man, all right? And the first man that covers you is your father, all right, you know? So again, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies. All right, niggas have stories about your daughter and shit, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. Hey, again, stories going around about your daughter, how, you know, she done gave it up to this one, gave it up to that one. All right, she don't know who her baby daddy is. You know, all these different things, and even the term baby daddy is just fucking madness and wickedness. All right. She's supposed to be with one man, all right? An Israelite woman is supposed to be with one man. As long as that man is alive, she's not to be with another, all right? She's under that man's yoke. She's under his bond, all right? But again, on this side, You know what I'm saying? These women are given the ammunition and the liberty to play the whore. All right. You know, Esau loves it that way. He likes it like that. You know, he likes to see, you know what I'm saying, our women hold out in that affection. Let me read this real quick. It's Amos 7 and 17, because again, it's a curse on us as Israelites, primarily us men, for being spiritual whores and idolaters toward the Lord. So he made our women that on this side. It's Amos 7 and 17. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, thy wife, the Israelite woman, shall be a harlot in the city. All right, what your God is say, biggest hoes in the city. Gotta quit fucking with you. All right, that's Eve today. All right, so again, therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and daughters shall fall by the swords. By the sword, all right, look at the YNs, all right, niggas and niggettes, look at them. Look at what they do in the streets of Babylon today, all right, America. Look at how they move, all right. They're murderers, all right. And they all got guns. They run down on each other. They run down on other people, all right. You know, they get ran down on. I mean, they fill up these prison houses, all right. This curse is tailor-made for us as Israelites. All right, it say, and thy land shall be divided by line. Our homeland is not America. All right, our original homeland is the land of Israel. All right, but we were kicked out of that land for being wicked. All right, and yet this day we're in our captivity and our homeland has been divided. All right, amongst Amalek and Ishmael. All right, the so-called Jewish nation. All right, and the Palestinian nation. They're living in our land right now. And say, and thou shall die in a polluted land, all right? And the biggest bulk of us Israelites reside over here in America, all right? This polluted land. All right, the scriptures tell us, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, for it is polluted. And it shall destroy you with a sword destruction. And that's what's coming to 2/3 of our people, a sword destruction, all right? And say, in Israel shall surely go into captivity, forth of his land, all right? And that happened. And it's still in play right now, all right? It will tell you in Baruch, we're yet this day in our captivity, you know? And a major sign of showing that we're in said captivity is the whoredom of the woman. All right, you know, shit. You know the state of a nation by the state of the woman. All right, and we're definitely in a broken state right now. I'm gonna read it. I've been quoting it. I'm gonna read it verbatim right quick. Jeremiah 31 and 22. It say, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, had created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right, that's a new thing in the earth, all right? And it's an upside down thing in the earth, because we know the order as it goes in 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is Yahweh. So that's your order right there, you know. But again, on this side, you know, Esau being the wicked, he's changed everything, all right? He's removed landmarks. This nigga didn't put man-made names on us, all right? But he could be he stood up in our place and says he's a Jew. So he says he can have a biblical identity even though it ain't right, but everybody else can't. All right, and that's why, you know, we need the Lord to come back soon, all right? And he's coming back soon, all right? We see the times that we in, all right? We see the way the Lord is speeding up the days and bringing on the judgments that he. Lesson really is just dealing with, again, the age of accountability coming at 12. So I'm going to read this in Luke chapter 2. Jump down to verse 41. All right. So it says, now his parents, which was Joseph and Mary, went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. So Yahushua was turning 12. He was born on the Passover. The Passover was basically what the world would deem today as his birthday. All right. And if you want to be spiritual, the Lord died on the Passover too. So, man, it's heavy. All right, verse 43. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind them in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. All right, Joseph is his father too, not his stepfather, as the Christians will have you believe. Joseph is the Lord's stepfather. Get the fuck out of here. Joseph is his real father. All right, Joseph put that thing on Mary, all right, and she got pregnant. Verse 44, it say, but they supposing him to have been in the company when a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolk, and acquaintance. All right, so they thought Yahushua was hanging back with the rest of the, you know what I'm saying, his extended family. All right. And when they found him not, they turned back to Jerusalem seeking him. So when they seen Yahushua wasn't, you know what I'm saying, amongst, you know what I'm saying, his kinfolk and whatnot, they had to go back to Jerusalem to find him. All right. And remember, he's 12 years old, so let's see what happens. Verse 46, and it came to pass that after 3 days, they found him in the temple. So it took them 3 days to find where he was. And when they found him, he was in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. All right, so he's sitting in the, you know, in the temple with, you know, other men in the temple. All right. It say verse 47, and all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. All right, so he was conversating with men, all right, much older than him and holding his own at that, you know what I mean? Verse 48, and when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. All right, she didn't say his stepfather. She didn't say me and your stepdaddy was looking for you. She said, thy father. All right, and I. So she put the father above her, which the man is above the woman. Have sought thee sorrowing. All right, they were looking for him. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Say, wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? All right, and he's talking about the heavenly father's business, Yahweh's business. All right, but they saying Yahushua, he's just their son. All right, you know what I'm saying? You got, I speak as a man, you know what I'm saying? I have a son. He's not. He does certain things that are extraordinary. All right, I'd be like, damn, how the hell he do that? You know. They say verse 50, and they understood not the saying which he spake unto them, because he's a child. He's the son of Yahweh, all right? He's the living God on this earth, all right? And the scriptures tell us every firstborn that opened the womb belonged to the Lord, all right? So, you know, and my son is my firstborn, just speaking on my situation, you know? And he does things that's, sometimes I be astonished, like, man, but I know him being my firstborn, he doesn't really belong to me. He belongs to the Lord, all right? Because he's my only son and my firstborn son. The scripture says your firstborn son is the beginning of your strength. But the point in the lesson ultimately being is that the age of 12 is the age of accountability for men and women. All right. The Lord don't make no mistakes. Don't nothing go down on this earth without the Lord sanctioning it. All right. So if a young woman gets pregnant at 12, it's not an anomaly. All right. It's not a mystery or a new thing in the earth. All right. That's nature. That's the way the Lord want everything to be. All right. You know, you know what I'm saying? The youth, man. That's the way the Lord wanted it to be, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna try to get too deep with it. Just know that's how the Lord wanted it, you know? And that's how, again, when Mary was with Joseph, all right, you know, she wasn't a whole lot of years older than Yahushua like that. You know, she's probably 12 to 14 years older than him, all right? So that's pretty much this lesson was just entailing, you know, some clips I seen, you know what I'm saying, the young Eves getting pregnant, you know, at a young age. And, you know, the world will frown upon it, which is not something to be uplifted in this particular society, but according to the Lord, in the eyes of the Lord, it's not a sin, quote unquote, for them to be pregnant at that age now. How it came about, it's a different story. And what comes after is a different story, but just in a matter of a young lady being pregnant at the age of 12, all right, that's not a new thing in the earth. And it's gonna be an everyday thing in the earth when the kingdom of heaven is established on the earth under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and the elect. So that's it. All honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, and elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Kwame Yasharala, the Bible Ball. Shalom.